Welcome to the Philosophy of Freedom study course. This video is about the observation of thought. What do we see when we observe thought? When we observe thought, we discover that it has a transparent clarity that allows us to know it directly. Knowing thought directly is the topic of step number 53. Previously, we learned that if we want to think about our thinking, it requires two acts. The first act is to create thought. To create thought, our full attention is directed to the object. We create new thought or recreate the thoughts of another in our mind. While we are thinking, we do not notice the thinking we are creating because our full attention is on the object we are thinking about. This is thinking contemplation. Since we forget our thinking while we are actually doing it, if we want to study it, we must recall it to mind as past thought. The second act is to observe the thought we created. After creating a thought or thought process, we recall it to mind and focus our full attention upon it. By means of introspective observation, we can now study thought just like we study any other object in the world. What do we see when we observe a thought process? When we observe our thought, we shift our focus from things in the world to their corresponding concepts. We enter an abstract world of concepts. Rudolf Steiner describes the reading of the Philosophy of Freedom as entering into abstract regions of thought. At first, the reader is led into abstract regions, where thought must draw sharp outlines to reach clearly defined positions. The Philosophy of Freedom is not foggy spiritualism. It lives in the conceptual world of mathematicians, computer programmers, and philosophers. Mathematical thinking involves precise reasoning and precisely defined abstract concepts. It involves connecting and combining concepts. The mathematician finds the connecting links within the concepts themselves. This kind of thinking is not natural to the brain. Many people do not like math because it is too hard. Math students are required to undergo a rigorous mental training. Many people do not study the Philosophy of Freedom because it is also hard. This is the point where commitment is tested. It takes mental discipline to live in and reason within a purely conceptual world created by the mind. Rudolf Steiner's path to freedom is for the science-minded, who are willing to do the work necessary to discipline thinking. When we observe a thought process, we see something we produce out of our own creative activity. Because thinking requires the will to think, what we produce is our own. We consciously stand within a line of thought and supervise its course. When someone is distracted or interrupted, they will say, "I have lost my line of thought." Because we create our own line of thought, we know it more directly and more intimately than any other process in the world. We know the course it took and the details of how the line of thought developed. By reflecting on a past thought process, we discover the factually corresponding context and the connection between the objects of thought. When we observe things other than thought, the situational context and connections between the objects are not directly known. They can only be discovered indirectly by going beyond the observation, by thinking. Passive observation of the world is not enough. Believing everything you are told is not enough. It is important to think if we want to know what is really going on. If I do not go beyond the facts given to me by observing the event, I cannot know why thunder follows lightning. I see lightning, then I hear thunder. Why does thunder follow lightning? To answer the question, I add the concept thunder and the concept lightning to the observed event. The concepts thunder and lightning relate to each other. The relationship between the two concepts lies within the concepts themselves. The definition of thunder is a booming or crashing noise caused by air expanding along the path of a bolt of lightning. By knowing the concepts of thunder and lightning, I immediately know why I connect the two concepts. The connection between these concepts is clear to me and is so through the concepts themselves. This does not mean my explanation of the phenomena is correct. If I apply the wrong concepts to my observation, I will likely be wrong. For example, perhaps the noise was not thunder. If the lightning is very far away, I will see the lightning but not hear the thunder. In that case, the thunder noise could be something else. To correctly explain the noise, I would need to apply the concept sonic boom. The link between the concepts orange and apple is clear to me through the concepts themselves. Both concepts contain the concept fruit. The concepts orange and meat both contain the concept food. In order to link orange and skyscraper, the connection is not obvious within the concepts themselves. We will have to find a reason for the connection. Perhaps a wealthy person owns a skyscraper and a grove of oranges. The challenge for step 53 is to find objects that can be connected through the content of their concepts. What is the link between an orange and a soccer ball? In the next video, we will look at how a rational person has a reason for linking two thoughts together. Step number 54 is called Thinking Guided by Reason.